Welcome to the Defense and Aerospace Report. I'm Vagan Radian here at the Excel Center in London, where we're covering the DSEI trade show, the world's leading air, land, sea, space, cyber, and security gathering. Our coverage here is in partnership with DSEI and Clarion Events, and we have with us Johnny Priest, who is with Inzpire, a Lincoln-based company of about 121 people as of today.
121 as of this afternoon. 120 this morning, and then we recruited one more this afternoon.
Actually, well done. Another RAF pilot,
Army
Air Corps this time. Yeah, but they're still very good pilots, so said the RAF man. And you guys are based in Lincoln. You have a turnover of about 12 million pounds, and you guys are about, how old are you?
So we were formed in 2005, so 12 years old this year.
12 years old, and you guys really have become a bit of a leader in training systems and simulators that give you the full motion feel without necessarily the full motion. And I'd like you to talk to us a little bit about that and how that fits into people's budgetary situations. Sort of how big is this market that you guys are going after, and what are the targeted products you're using to get there?
Okay, so we have a lot of experience of teaching the UK military in synthetics. So from flying myself, you have full motion simulators, which are hugely expensive, or you have flat panel desktop systems, which are not so effective, not going to provide so much. And there's a real gap in between, which is what we wanted to exploit. So the reason we call it the targeted Fidelity simulator is we can decide with the customer, what do you actually need? Do you need all the systems working because you're learning to fly the aircraft, or are you just doing tactical training, in which case you just need the basic radios and a few of the weapon systems working. So by targeting, we can make it cost effective. And that's what people are coming back to us with again and again. We can't afford the full motion simulator. And actually, it does a lot of things we don't need. So we're paying for capability that we're not going to use. So that's what we're targeting.
And how are you approaching this as training systems overall? You were talking about you have folks who gather and can chop through a lot of statistics to do the kind of in-depth analysis. Talk to us about the whole training package and even the mission systems that go with it, because then you can use the simulator to practice some complex missions. You were a combat pilot, both flew Lynx as well as Chinook. Talk to us a little bit about how the entire package that the company provides works together.
Okay, one of the benefits we have working with emerging militaries is actually it's a blank piece of paper. And so if you spoke to a military person, you would want to have the same instructors on the synthetics and the simulators as you're having the live. You would want to start on the same mission planning systems when you're at basic training as to when you're on the frontline squadrons. So what we're able to do as a company, we've built products. We're 80% of us are ex-military, so we understand what people need. We're building systems which will take you through the life of your training, but then also onto the front line as well. So we have the Gecko system, which is mission planning, but we can do full mission rehearsals, debriefs. We can take that technology, put it into the simulator, so we can then view exactly what people have done. We can then take it into the aircraft. By giving people commonality over a period of time, they become very familiar with kit. The more familiar you are, the better you are with the kit, and the more operationally effective you are.
International growth is a byword for everybody, including you guys, and you guys signed a deal with Jordan today. Tell us a little bit about it.
Jordan's an exciting venture for us. It's a great place to do basic training. Capacity in the UK is difficult. We have a lot of customers wanting training, but not necessarily having the ability in their own country to do it. So with Jordan, we found a partner in the Golden Eagle Aviation Academy who can provide space, they can provide aircraft, they had good links into the Royal Jordanian Air Force. We've had historic links with Jordan for a long time, and between the two air forces as well. We've had people over there doing some training. Our standards people go over there to make sure that they are as good as we are, and vice versa, to keep that sort of commonality. So it's a natural extension for us as ex-military people to work with Golden Eagle, because they're using ex-Jordanian people as well. And we can provide training now from basic elementary training all the way through to the advanced, and then we can start to do some operational, whether that be on Black Hawk, Cobra, whether we can do some Apache training. So it gives us the ability to do training all the way through from cradle to grave, right up to the operational end.
And talk to us about what's next for the company as you try to grow, right? You've gotten here because you guys are steadily moving up the value chain. Talk to us about where you expect to be in, say, over the next 5 years.
So our key market was always the UK. That's we are, as I say, ex-UK military, so that's the market we understand. It's now trying to leverage that experience that we've gained and the people we've got to take those overseas and to be able to provide the sort of similar standards and models to overseas customers. So I would say over the next 5 years, you'll see us in a lot more countries around the world.
And you also said that, and are there any particular countries you guys are focusing on more than others?
No, at the moment we're getting a lot of interest from the Middle East and the African regions, but also in the Far East as well. We're starting to do some work, hopefully, with the European Defence Agency. So the only place we're not really going at the moment is North America.
And Are you concerned, is there going to be a Brexit impact? I mean, you said that you want to do business in Europe and with the EDA. Do you see a challenge with that in Brexit and how it affects your guys' strategy going forward?
At the moment, the devaluation of the pound is working in our favour. We're even more cost effective than normal. But most of our market will be further afield than Europe. So in the short term, no, I don't see it as too much of a problem.
Now you flew Lynx and you flew Chinooks, and you said basically it's like flying the same aircraft. So you have to qualify that, because when most people look at a Lynx, they see a true gazelle of the sky, something that's a very, very agile helicopter. And then when you look at a Chinook, agility is not necessarily the first word you might think as a Chinook is approaching. Tell us why those two aircraft are equally fun to fly.
You're quite right. You'd have to clarify it. If an empty Chinook, with the amount of power it has, it's incredibly agile. So it does fly very similar to a Lynx. Clearly, if you hang a tank underneath or fill it with 40 people, you start to lose some of that agility. But when it's empty, it's very similar.
And what did you like about the helicopter mission that attracted you to it?
The helicopter mission, I actually enjoyed doing the work. If I was going to be a fast jet pilot, which was out of my hands and that wasn't going to happen, you're actually training, you're actually doing operations on a regular basis. Not just the war, but doing the peacetime, doing support. If you look at what's happening over in America at the moment, we've got aircraft going over to help in the Caribbean. You're actually doing something on a meaningful basis, on a regular basis, as a helicopter pilot, and that's why I prefer it.
And actually with the Chinook, it's almost like a mini C-130 that arrives someplace, because it is a gigantic airplane.
It's a big aircraft. You can get a lot of people in there, a lot more than Boeing will tell you can. But no, it's such a capable aircraft, and if you look at the design, how old it is, and if you look at the plans of how long it's going to last, it will be, I think, the first 100-year aircraft which will stay in service, and that's a testament to their design.
Johnny, thanks very much. Best of luck to you guys. Appreciate it, and look forward to catching up at the next show.
That's great. Thank you for your time.